Good morning, everyone. We are in Savannah quarters in Savannah, Georgia, clearly. Job today is we're doing a paver patio. We're gonna wash it and then prep it for sanding and sealing. So, gonna check the job out here. It's a smaller job, but they want to get the patio done, or the inside screen as well. This is it. So I'm going to pre-treat this pretty heavy. I'm going to get out my P40 with some SH and go from there. Alright, sorry y'all. The customer came out. We had to speak about, so I'm doing the inside of this patio as well. So essentially just cover up the TV. I'm not going to spray above it or behind it. There's electrical back there, so I covered it up. I'm going to do the screens, and I'm basically going to start from the door over. Look at a dog. And I'm going to do the inside. I'm not going to hit the roof, the ceiling at all. That's not sure what kind of wood that is, but I'm just going to get the walls, windows, screens, furniture, and clean it up real nice so they can enjoy their patio. And here's this again. So I got 3 bags of sand. I'm hoping it's enough. It should be. But I'm gonna have to blast all this out with a turbo nozzle, essentially. On the corners especially. So this ought to be fun. So I need to get to it. I think this is gonna take a little longer than I anticipated, as always. But I will set y'all up on a tripod and we can go from there. Alright y'all, so I just used the surface cleaner over here on the pavers. So got a lot of the dirt and stuff out, but as you can see there's sand still in every single crack. So this is where the fun part begins, and we've got to use the turbo nozzle on this entire patio to get that sand out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. Let's get it. Safety first, wear safety glasses of some sort. we are going to do a quick rinse here. We're gonna rinse, and then I'm gonna post treat with a downstream mix. Alright, y'all, so I am done cleaning and essentially blowing out all this sand. There's some bad drainage over here, though, like right here. And there's a lot of moisture down in the cracks. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back today because the sun's already right there and it hasn't. I don't think this is going to dry in time to get this sanded today. Fortunately, I do work in Savannah, about 30 minutes away full time. So what I could do and what I probably will do is come down here tomorrow during my lunch break and go ahead and sand it then. I'll just take like an extended lunch, but it looks really good so far compared to what it did before. But we are going to pause this job. I got 2 more jobs today, so I'm going to go to the next one. It's about 40 minutes away. Alright, y'all, we are leaving that house. So I just wanted to show you this this neighborhood that I'm in. Savannah Quarters here in Savannah is, I mean, it's easily one of the best neighborhoods in the area. It's on a golf course, a private course. The houses are ridiculous. There's the clubhouse. But this is a very good neighborhood. I put up my sign, not sure how long it's going to last because, you know, this HOA is strict, you know, and for a good reason. Welcome back, everybody. It is the next day. I'm gonna sand all the pavers today. So I got my 2 blowers. I got this big blower to make sure everything is cleared off and dry, and then I got this small one that I'm going to use after we actually lay the sand. Too much air is not a good thing. Alright, so I'm going to set y'all up. Actually, we're going to walk around and make sure everything's dry right now. Looks really good. Yep, we can definitely get this done today. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll set y'all up on the tripod. As you can see here, that I spread the sand out on the pavers, not in one pile, but in a line across. That way, when I sweep the sand into the joints, I'm not sweeping the polymers across the surface. You don't want to lay a giant pile of sand and then push it all the way across the surface because the small polymers will not spread to where they need to, and the water will not activate the process. On this clip, you can see a little better what I mean by spreading the sand out. Also, a good technique to use is to use the broom at a 45-degree angle to the joints from all kinds of directions. That way the sand is evenly distributed. When you're using a blower to get rid of all the excess sand, the best thing to use is a low-powered electric blower. A gas-powered blower has too much power and will blow too much sand out. And always remember that you want to keep
the sand level at about 1/8 of an inch below the ledge on the joint side of the paver. When you're watering in the sand on all three of the waterings to set the polymers, I found that the best nozzle to use is a fan tip or a flat setting on a multi-setting nozzle, and that basically wets the surface to the perfect amount, and you essentially are painting the pavers wet. So as you can see right here, I'm basically going back and forth like a painting, and that will be the perfect amount for each of the three waterings to properly set the polymeric sand.
All right, so we just got done misting all the sand joints, and I've already tested it with a knife. Everything is saturated down to the very bottom of the joints. Checked in multiple spots. So now we just let it dry, and then we'll come back in a day or two to finish the sealing. All right, everybody, we are back to finish this paver patio. We've got our Trident Tsunami. We're gonna use that today. And so I got all my stuff laid out. First thing we want to do is mix this using a mixer. Wow, it's super clear. Oh, get that out there. So clear as can be. Just gonna mix it nice and slow. But we're gonna do this for a little bit, and then I'm gonna dust off or blow off the patio, make sure there's no debris, and then we'll get to spraying. All right, first thing I want to do is make sure this bucket sprayer's actually working. So I'm gonna put this in there. I'm just gonna run some water through it. Okay. Get the pump primed. It's like a piece of plastic in there. Alright, we're gonna have to. Alright, so the red tip was clogged, so I had to get another one. There's my tips down there. But now we're good to go. So we will go blow off the patio, then we're gonna put the bucket into there. We should be good to go. Alright, y'all. So got the chemical or the drop stick down in the sealer. Now we're gonna need to prime it with the sealer first. So I'm gonna turn this on. Alright, that noise right there tells you it's primed, and I'm basically just gonna purge this line. Normally the sealer that I use comes out white, so I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes. I think that's sealer. Smells like it. Alright, let's go. Got my bucket sprayer way over here. Ready? So we're gonna work in small sections and back roll. Make sure there's no puddles. This stuff dries to the touch in like 30 minutes, so as soon as you spray it, you gotta start back rolling. Alright, we're just gonna keep working this area. Everybody, we are done. First time using Trident Tsunami. Thoroughly impressed. It's a one coat sealer. There's a lot of sealers where you got to do a flood coat and then follow back behind with a light coat, but this is a one coat sealer. I did put it on, wouldn't say necessarily real thick, but enough to where there'd be no question I'd have to come back again. But check out this finish. Let's get you. But this turned out really well. The customer actually came out and asked if that's the color it was going to dry, and I said yeah, and he was super stoked. So also did around the fire ring. But it's the first time using the Tsunami. I like it. Probably gonna suggest it more. And thanks for watching, y'all. Everybody, we are done with the paving job. Took a while considering the steps. So real quick, step number one when you're doing paver sealing. Actually, let me go into how I get these jobs. Most of the time, I show up to a property and they only want their house washed, their driveway done. They never think about the paver patio or the pavers, which are always tore up. Let's be honest, they're always tore up. They can almost all of them be redone. Because most of the time people don't even get them done correctly the first time when they actually get them installed. So I essentially upsell them paver sealing by saying, one, the cracks and everything will be filled with sand. No, no more throwing weed killer down, none of that mess. Two, cleans it all up. Everything looks great. And then when I seal it, it's going to essentially protect it for years to come from, any kind of sun damage or, I mean, the color is going to pop on those pavers for years to come. And it's super easy to upsell, guys, especially if someone takes pride um, in their home. I mean, they're calling you for a reason, right? They want their place to look good. Go ahead and upsell them. I mean, it's worth a shot. You know what I mean? That's how I get all my jobs. Anyways, step one, clean the surface first. Don't think of it in small steps. When I first started out, it was a lot I thought of it all as one big project. It's not. It's not at all. It's a bunch of small ones. Clean the surface first. So that includes rust removal, any efflorescence removal, the white hazy stuff that goes away when you put water on it or when it rains. That's efflorescence. There's a F9 efflow is a product that gets rid of that. Oxalic acid gets rid of rust. F9 bark gets rid of rust. Do your research. There's a chemical that will get every possible thing off of a surface. So step one is the cleaning. Step two is you have to wait till those pavers and those joints, keep that in mind, and the joints are completely dry. If you're I use polymeric sand, which has polymers inside of it that are water activated. So essentially if there's any water on the pavers and you spread that sand, it's going to create a haze. The sand is actually going to harden to the pavers. You don't want that. So make sure they are completely dry, sanding. Use a big broom, to get everything into the sand or into the cracks. Then follow behind with a blower. I don't have a tamp machine or like a what do you call them, a little percussion thing. So I took the end of my broomstick and went around and tapped every single thing, every single paver, and that actually it gets rid of those air bubbles down inside. That sand actually settles down. So once you do that, you got to water the sand. So take a light mist. With polymeric, I like to do 3 waterings, just a little bit more each time. When you're done, take a knife or something, skinny, and go all the way down in those bigger joints just to make sure that the polymeric sand is wet throughout the entire joint. It's kind of like when you're, cooking a cake, and you'd use a toothpick. If you put the toothpick down and nothing comes off, it's good. Same kind of idea. After that is the sealing process. The sand has to be completely dry um, to seal. So that's why this turned into a 3-day project. Luckily, it didn't turn into more because right now in Savannah area, I mean, it is 91 degrees out right now, and it's in March. So, I mean, it's essentially summer out, so everything is dry and super fast, which helps out a lot. Um, so, anyways, trying to upsell paver sealing. I mean, I when I first started pressure washing 2 years ago, I did a Deco Products actually came here into Savannah and put on a free clinic, if you will, on how to seal and sand pavers. Guys, it's super easy. They do these little pop-up classes everywhere. I learned how to. I learned the wood. Everett was here from the Wood Wizard. Ridiculously smart guy. He was here and he did a couple hour class on wood restoration. Everything I learned in a couple hours, I still use to this day. I do fences, I do decks. I can upsell these things because I know what I'm doing and I've done my research. So, anyways, that's end of rant. But I'm going to my full-time job now. So, if you guys have any questions, I haven't been doing this my entire life. I'm learning just like everybody else. But I do have the fortunate ability to learn fast and to retain this knowledge. So I hope y'all are watching YouTube like a madman or mad woman. You know, I never stop watching YouTube videos. I never stop learning. There's always something new to learn. I've noticed that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see y'all in the next video.